Hi, I'm Marty, and this is Cooking at the Kraus House. Today we're making one of my husband's favorites, and you know I like to make what he likes because I like him so much. It's baklava. I usually just make it on his birthday because I think he could pretty much eat the whole pan. I'm trying to save him because we're getting old. So it is just layers of phyllo dough and sugar and cinnamon and nuts and honey and butter, all the things that makes life so delicious. I think you should try it. I think this is something you're really gonna like, and your husband probably will too. So when you make baklava, it's kind of a two-part process. You make a simple syrup that's a cup of water, a cup of honey, and a cup of sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla and a teaspoon of almond flavoring, almond extract. Now you can also use about a third a cup of orange juice if you want to, but today I'm just doing the nutty version. Or you can also add lemon juice, but I like just the almond extract. And so you're gonna combine that and cook it for about 20 minutes, let it boil and cook. So you kind of wanna start it first because this only takes about 30 or 35 minutes to bake, and you want to let this cool a little bit. It's super weird because you bake this first and then dump it over while it's hot, and it's a little scary. So that's the reason you want to use a metal pan, because again, with the glass pan, it can shatter and nobody wants that. So for this, you're going to use a package of phyllo dough, which is super thin pastry, and this is a cup of sugar and a teaspoon of cinnamon, and you're going to combine those. And then I use a pound of butter because my cute husband likes it buttery and just dripping. So it's normally 3/4 of a pound of butter, but we just go for the whole thing. What do you do with 1/4 pound anyway? And then 2 cups of nuts, and we're gonna put those in the food processor for just a couple of pulses because we still want them big and nutty. We don't want them like powdery fine paste, but we don't want them as big. And another thing about nuts, I like mixed nuts when I do it, but you could use blanched almonds or all walnuts or whatever you want. But I like the kind that's a little bit fancy. It doesn't have Brazil nuts in it. I think Brazil nuts make it taste a little bit sour. So I don't use the mixture that has that. But this has almonds and cashews and some pistachios, some macadamia nuts, and some pecans. And it's what I like best. Okay, so we want to make a simple syrup that goes over the baklava when it comes out of the oven. So we're gonna put our cup of honey and our cup of sugar. This is a cube of butter melted. It's kind of left over from the baklava. And our cup of water. And then we're gonna just stir it until it dissolves. And once we bring it to a boil, we'll just turn it down to a simmer and let it simmer for 20 minutes. And then we'll turn it off to cool. All right, it's boiling now. And so we're gonna turn it down to a simmer. And set a timer for 20 minutes. All right, so we just want to chop the nuts, but super coarsely. All right, that looks pretty good. So we're just going to take them out. There might be a couple of big ones. If it really bothers you, pick them out and you can chop them a little more. But got everything from fine to medium to whole. And that's okay. It's still gonna taste good. Okay, so we dump our nuts in there, and I already mixed the sugar and the cinnamon together, and then I'm just going to mix this up. And we're going to start layering. And it comes in a roll like this, and you cut off the end and you unroll it. And then you just carefully do one sheet at a time, and if it rips, it's no big deal. You can just put it back together. So you're going to put it in your pan, and then you're going to put butter on it like this. You just want to lightly coat it with butter because, trust me, there's going to be enough butter on here. Okay, and then you do another sheet. And we're going to repeat this for 8 sheets. So this is sheet 2. And the next sheet is better because it sticks to the other one with the butter a little. Here we go, 3. Whoops, that's okay. Just put it down. This is 4. This is number 5. Almost done. 2 more layers. Seven, and this is our last one. All right, so this is number 8. So after you have coated it with butter, the next thing you're going to do is take about 1/4 of this mixture. So right now it's at 3 cups. So you're going to put about 3/4 of a cup and just sprinkle it on. And you're going to repeat this same step about 4 times with 4 layers of sugar mixture. And so you don't want to end with sugar mixture on top. The last layer is going to be the phyllo dough. So we're going to do 3 more layers just like this, and then we'll end with phyllo dough. Down to the last layer. That takes a while. So we're going to put the last layer on, and a little bit of butter. And I did use probably 3/4 pound of butter. And then the last quarter pound goes into the syrup. Once it's all finished, all the layering's finished, you're going to cut it into the shapes you want at this point. And so first you're going to cut it the long way, and you're cutting all the way through. So we're going to cut 4 strips. You want to use a pretty sharp knife. So sharp, I think it's cutting the pan. Okay, and then you're going to cut diagonally. So there's the first cut. They're going to be well, a couple of the pieces will be triangles, but they're just going to be sort of diamond shapes. Just kind of hold those layers down because they're going to want to move a little. And it's okay if you have some little tiny pieces, you can just eat those before you give it to your guests. No one will know. All right, so that's what it looks like. They're going to be little kind of bars, like not quite diamonds, more like a parallelogram, or not quite a rhombus because they're not exactly even. But now we're going to put it in the oven at 400 degrees for 35 minutes. And then when we take it out, we pour that sauce that we made and that are letting cool over the top, and it looks super cool and bubbly. It's all finished, and this is the super exciting part. We're gonna pour this sauce all over the top. Right when it comes out, while it's still warm, we're just gonna pour this over the top. You wanna cover everywhere. Those tops are gonna rise up, but it will all go back down. Ouch. Pops a little, be careful. You want to pour all of it on there, and then you're just going to let it sit until it cools down. This is it. You can see all the lovely layers of phyllo dough, the nuts. If I pick this up, it would just drip butter and honey, which is what Eric, my husband, loves. It's easier to make than you think, and it tastes delicious. You should try it. I think you'll really like it, and so will everyone you give it to.